On October 21st, IBJ unveils the 2025 Women of Influence. Join us to celebrate Indy's most inspiring leaders and hear the powerful stories behind their success. Don't miss this moment. Register now at ibj.com/influence2025.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. I'm Gary Dick. A previously announced venture studio on the campus of Elanco Animal Health's new Indianapolis headquarters has secured $10 million in funding via the Indiana Economic Development Corporation. The IEDC's board of directors has okayed a loan to the venture studio, whose partners include Elanco and Indianapolis-based Alloy Partners. On Wednesday, Elanco christened its new $200 million corporate campus in downtown Indianapolis, envisioned as the anchor of an emerging One Health innovation district. An Indianapolis company is hoping its product will help paramedics performing CPR by giving them more control. The traditional one-size-fits-all bag valve mask, or BVM, has hardly changed since the 1950s. Compact Medical's Butterfly BVM device is out now to change that and recently earned clearance from the Food and Drug Administration, says CEO Dr. Jonathan Merrill.
But what's been always a bummer up to this point is we've always had to tell them, we're not FDA cleared yet, so you just got to wait a little longer. It's now exciting to be able to say, and we're FDA cleared.
Blown up more than 20 times their original size, the comics splashed across Napanee's new Cartoon Alley do not just entertain, they celebrate the city's golden age of cartooning. The murals immortalize the work of 4 hometown artists whose strips once reached readers nationwide from the 1920s through the 70s. The permanent art installation is the first step in execution of the city's new downtown master plan. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Our Innovate Indiana series is on the move in October. Join us for Innovate Southern Indiana in New Albany, October 1st. Innovate South Bend Elkhart in South Bend, October 14th. And Innovate South Central Indiana in Bloomington, October 24th. The Innovate series is presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. Each location will feature a powerful afternoon of ideas, innovation, and insight, and what's next for each region. RSVP now at ibj.com/innovate. An Evansville Electrical Workers Union was forced to drop a $1.29 million fine against one of its former members.
According to the National Right to Work Legal Defense Foundation, local electrician Brian Head had submitted a notarized letter on March 27th resigning his membership from the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 16. A few days later, the union filed internal union charges against Head, and at the beginning of April, Head received a reply letter from the union claiming that there was a 6-month process before the resignation is finally effective. Not long after submitting his resignation, Head announced that he was purchasing a non-union electrical firm. The foundation says IBEW then sent Head a letter of assent, which would have put Head's business into a contract with the union. Head refused to sign the letter. On June 9th, Head received a notice from the union stating that they found him guilty of violating the union's constitution and imposed a $1.29 million disciplinary fine on him. Head filed a complaint against the union in June, alleging that it had restrained and coerced him and other employees in the exercise of their rights provided under Section 7 of the National Labor Relations Act, which forbids unions from restricting workers from resigning their memberships. The National Labor Relations Board, which is the federal agency responsible for enforcing the act, reviewed Head's charges and made a merit determination in his favor. The IBEW chose to settle with Head and the foundation, dropping their $1 million penalty. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Evansville-based Escalade is adding to its portfolio with the acquisition of the Gold Tip archery business from Rhode Island-based Revelist, Inc., financial terms of the deal not being disclosed, but the sporting goods and recreational equipment manufacturer says the Gold Tip brand will further expand its presence in the archery market. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Curious about what's shaping law in Indiana? From court reforms and NIL rights to mental health courts and energy commissions, the Indiana Lawyer Podcast breaks down the biggest legal issues of our time. I'm your host, reporter Maura Johnson. Join me every other week for your insider guide to what matters in law and why it impacts you. Subscribe now in your favorite podcast app or at ibjpodcasts.com.
On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.